hitbox down, still the best you're going to find in the area.
Ain't no question
it's
about
nice.
it. You already know. So we got to talk about the issue at hand right here.
I'm saying.
That's right.
I'm saying. Dollar slices. I'm saying. But
that's right.
Here's a man who makes a couple of dollars, helps us make a couple of dollars. That is the big man, Deven from the House of 3000.
I'm so excited.
He's normally behind the computer. He's normally making things happen, but now he's got to do it on stream going up against Tigre.
I am very excited to see how this one is going to roll. So, look, I didn't know. I came into a couple of these tournaments thinking that the House of 3K production team was tender. I didn't think that they, could actually get down. Then I went to the last glitch and seeing how they got down glitch region, the Final Fantasy one. I was like, oh yeah, House of 3K, they're nice in front of the camera and behind the camera. Deven, of course, proving out here right now. Let's go ahead and get it.
You can't forget that you also got guys like John Numbers who are working behind the scenes too,
That's
and he's more known as a player than what he does behind the camera.
And
but,
a Nintendo champion too.
I'm saying he can do it all, and hey, looks like Deven can do the same too, getting up to a really hot start and almost completely with the Ivysaur as well, just building up a lot of that early damage. Tigre gonna have to fight back in this Pokemon battle on PS2.
I'm already having more fun with this Pokemon match than Scarlet and Violet right now, man. I'm gonna keep it real. Come on,
it's at 60 frames per second. That's an upgrade.
That's right. All right, but no doubt about it. Big Ray right here is gonna definitely need an upgrade, if I may say so myself. Greninja really struggling. Love the utilization will just fall off there on the right side of the stage. Of course, Greninja, no hitbox, not recovery. Really gonna struggle. Back throw right there is going to get the job done.
And I love the patience right there from Deven, knowing that a lot of people against Ivysaur want to opt for that high recovery because they're rightfully afraid of that down air. But Deven knows that if he plays it patiently, especially at those percents, he can just get that back throw, yonk you off the stage, and he is out to the lead. But Tigre not out of it yet, building up some quick damage, and as long as he can keep that Ivy in the corner, you can put a lot of pressure on your opponent as a Greninja.
That's right. Now, Greninja, of course, not blessed with the best out-of-shield options. I think Nair is usually the go-to option when it comes to setting up the fun, but when you got him caught in the corner, you got like down tilt, you got dash attack, which is still one of the best dash attacks in Smash Ultimate. So you got a lot of tools to really lock Ivysaur down. And Ivysaur, let's be real, not the most mobile character. Oh my goodness! And Charizard needed to be blessed with some mobility right there. Just get sent clear to the right side.
Deven tried to mash out right there and then got big punished by Tigre. And that's one of the big things you need as a Greninja, is to kind of be in control of the pace of the game so that you can spam a lot of those moves. You're very safe on your opponent, but your opponent generally pretty safe on you. And I love that from Deven, calling out the double jump from the ledge, or Tigre just trying to take advantage of that high double jump from Greninja because he's a frog. He's got hops, but Deven can call that out every day.
That's right. He is blessed with some springs and so smart. He knows that, Greninja blessed with some great movement options. More times than not, usually going to try to out-jump their opponent, especially in the corner, but again, just staying just a step ahead of the competition. And I'm liking what I'm seeing right here. Great footwork again from Greninja. This time not really coming in from the facing the ledge. This time kind of coming out from the ledge and going for more like dash attack again and just try to rinse and repeat Ivysaur.
I'm really loving the way that Tigre is using the movement too, right? Whether it's out of the corner or in the advantage. I'm loving this from Tigre because you're noticing that he's not really trying to dominate the pace of the game. He's not trying to oppress Deven, but he's using burst movement and playing really patiently so that he can just get right up close and be a zone breaker against that Ivysaur.
That's right. I think what usually happens with Greninja at like any type of level is that the character has a very specific game plan, and then sometimes they kind of get into this rinse and repeat situation where like once you take an option away from them, now they have to think a little bit more innovatively. And I like that, he's just playing a little bit closer to the chest right now. He's like, look, I know you know what I can do, but I'm not going to do it the majority of the match. I'm going to save it for the right moment and close it out.
Deven right now going real low. Ivy can make that back for sure, but I mean, for both of these players, it's time to pull out all the stops. Remember, everything's a best of 5, and Deven says, I want to get one on the board first, but good DI by Tigre, going to keep his last stock alive. Another couple of quick jumps out of the corners, though, and again, we've seen Deven call that out a couple times already.
That's right, but for how much longer can they stay alive is the million-dollar question. I'm loving the footwork right here. Of course, the defensive options need to be super prevalent in this moment. Of course, Ivysaur swings big hit boxes to catch the jump. Oh, timber up smash. Completely spaced, that was even a thing. Oh, gotta punish the Pokemon shift. We haven't seen much Charizard in this set either. I'm very curious to see what's gonna happen.
It's the big bear.
That is.
It is the big tail to do it. And that was a really good adaptation by Deven in a couple of those situations. First of all, he's noticed that Tigre on a lot of these landing options was going for, trying to catch Deven landing directly on him, and then he was able to trade that out. And then with the Charizard, he was jumping out of the corner. The first time we saw the Zard come out, you might see it in the replays, he got punished for going, all right, I've switched to the Charizard. I want to immediately try to land with an aerial.
No.
And then that's where Tigre got that first stock. You might see it here in just a second. And then the second time that happened there at the end of the game, right, you didn't see this happen. You saw Deven just jump straight past that platform and just keep himself mobile, and that's why he got that game 1.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I'm really glad you brought that up, too, because, you know, you would think getting up for a knee Charizard, like, that's what I want to do. Like, he's a big target. I got tip for up smash. What more needs to be explained? But very smart right there from Deven to kind of stay a step ahead and drift just a little bit away. That way that tail can kind of cover that distance and not allow Greninja to kind of burst in and attack. So such a smart option right there, man. Deven, of course, playing completely out of your mind. But I can't call it quite yet because this is still Greninja we're talking about. I mean, we can take a match from 0 to 100 real fast.
And especially on a stage like Kalos, right, Greninja's going to be able to control the game a whole lot better. It's going to be harder for Deven to just sit behind a platform, force that Greninja to approach. But there is a small sticking point on the stage for Greninja, and it is those platforms. The up smash cannot get both hits. They're just a little bit too high. We did already see that come into play. And again, that patient recovery from Deven really working out, but it is Tigre staying on the offensive.
That's right. A lot of real estate right here, but none up there. Very smart right here from Deven. Just, again, the up smash, knowing that he's going to jump around. Great anti-air option. And, you know, kind of can catch from behind as well. Okay, completely spaced on Flamethrower. Again, we can't ignore the elephant in the room sometimes with Greninja is that dangerous on stage. Off stage, still pretty good. No hitbox in that recovery, though. So if you got a move that can kind of linger off the ledge, Greninja could be in some trouble. That solid reset, you know, they have to up B twice. They go high. Charizard's going to punish that every time.
But speaking of punishes, we got Tigre taking that first stock. And honestly, one of the biggest sticking points for Deven so far has been that his ledge trapping been a little bit timid. That aggression is what I like to see from him. Noticing that Tigre overextended, trying to take the small lead that he had, turn it into a bigger one. Deven was going to be headstrong and just, you know what? He said, this is my game. I want to stay in control.
That's right. He said, look, if anybody's winning this tournament, it's me. We couldn't even stream this tournament if I wasn't here.
I'm not DQing out of the bracket. Look, somebody else take over. I'll get my paycheck from the payout.
Hey, you know, that's facts. You know, Deven gets paid no matter who wins or loses this tournament. That's the way you want it. Alrighty. Great back air here. Of course, got to get off of that platform and out of that corner. Now, we talked about mobility a lot throughout the course of this set and how important it is for Greninja. It's also kind of important for Ivysaur as well. Ivysaur, of course, not blessed with the movement options that, you know, Greninja is, but, of course, where they lack in that department, they do have the long-range capabilities. And, oh, wow. Damn, that's mega unfortunate.
Yeah, he must have gotten caught with either like an air dodge towards the stage. I didn't see what it was. Maybe that or maybe just a special pushing him closer towards the blast zone because it seemed like he'd be totally fine to live that. But regardless, Tigre gets a little bit of a gift right there and now doesn't have to worry about an immediate reversal if he wants to try to really take the lead in this game.
Oh, man, it hit him with the drift right there. I thought that was certainly going to be a punish on the way back down. And again, it just kind of goes back to like having to think a step ahead, especially when you're playing a big character versus somebody who's nimble like Greninja. Even just a slight drift can be enough to really save your life. Okay.
That's exactly what you get. I mean, both of these characters right now are really mobile, right? The water types, they can get around the stage. Deven are really just trying to find something heavy to take this stock, and it's getting him into some hot water because Tigre's not falling for any of these baits.
Oh, my goodness. Now, okay, I think I know what happened there, Kimona. We just had way more room to work with. Let's just keep it real, you know. We have that much real estate, especially on a stage like Kalos. You allow Greninja to really start thriving. Sure, there's going to be times where we back off from each other, and sure, you know, Ivysaur can kind of stop me from bursting in with, like, you know, my dash attack, most notably, like my jump, which is very good into, like, Nair or whatever. But when you have that much space, you're kind of never not in control, you know what I mean? Like, we see it a lot with, like, Sonics on the stage, too.
I mean, it's definitely one where if you have the lead and you're a mobile character, you can just kind of wait for your opponent to make a few mistakes. And, you know, through the first stock and a half, you know, things were pretty even because we didn't see a ton of big mistakes. But, you know, once Tigre started building up a bigger and bigger lead, Deven felt like he had to start making bigger and bigger plays. And eventually those led to mistakes like that where you're drifting in with an aerial and, you know, Tigre can see it coming and space outside of it. So we're PS2 here for game number 3 where the stage is still pretty big, but you do get to work around these platforms, and that does let you mix up your movement a little bit better.
And I got to say, Tigre is in the kitchen mixing it up in the right way here. A quick 64% right here as we kick this match off and utilizing the platform, but in a way where they're not actually jumping onto it for the damage. They're actually just like empty jumping and then waiting for them to make the punishment. Like, are you going to land on the platform or are you going to land right in front of me? Because I got the option on the ready. That time landed right in front of him, forward smash covered it.
And you're noticing it from Deven, right, that almost every time he gets hit, he's just drifting all the way in. He does it again right there, and that's where Tigre has been getting those really, really big punishes. And if I'm him, I'm going to continue to hit Deven and then back up, wait for him to jump towards me, and then hit him right back, because there's just been that sort of, well, I want to get counter-aggressive and hit you back.
That's right. Alrighty, well, we'll need some sort of aggression right here in the right way pretty soon.
Wow.
Chateau sneak, the sneakiest right there. And closing that one out. The immediate up air, though.
This is just really, really good adaptation by Tigre, because I think like probably the last 4 stocks or so that we've seen from him have them punishing the same kind of thing. And that Shadow Sneak is a really big call out, because if you whip that, Deven playing out there off stage, he is absolutely going to be able to turn that around. But Tigre had full confidence that Deven was going to drift all the way in and give him that hit. And now you're playing at a 3-stock-to-1 deficit. You have got to get something big to get that momentum back.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up. I love the switch over to Squirtle right here. Of course, somebody who can kind of get in and kind of bob and weave in a way where, you know, Ivysaur, oh my goodness, and Ivysaur and Charizard can't quite do that. Of course, that match is slowed down. They're in the deficit. They're kind of playing the bait and punish game. Now you have to come to me. And let's be honest, Ivysaur's options, pretty telegraphed. Squirtle, on the other hand, has just enough footwork to kind of keep it ambiguous. What we doing off stage, though?
Oh, that up B, the high recovery, and I think Deven wanted to go low, but had to be wary of maybe Tigre dropping low and covering as well. But sitting at 121, calling out the jump, and there's only one left, but Deven again still sticking with his guns, and he says, I am a guy that is going to go in. I want to hit you out of the way. By God, I'm going to do it.
That's right, and Deven has a plan. He's sticking to it, and I'm loving it. The corner control, especially from the Charizard, has been really nice here. But unfortunately, not nice enough. Tigre fighting their way out of the corner. I would love to see Deven maybe go off stage a little bit more, maybe a little bit earlier on the flamethrower, just to try to, again, reset the recovery options. But good Lord, resetting this match. We move into the next game. Tigre, adaptation. Look it up in the dictionary. You'll find a picture of him in there.
I mean, every single time he has noticed something that Deven's done 3 or 4 times in a row, he's been right on top of it. And look at that. He whipped that Shadow Sneak, but later on, he's going to get one. And again, it's calling out those big options. There's the read on the continued drift in, and that's the change that really needs to happen. Deven needs to get less aggressive when he's in disadvantage, not try to drift completely towards the stage and get caught out by something like that. You can drift low. You have the mobility to get around Greninja off stage, because he has to be precise when he chooses those moments.
100%. I was actually thinking, because when the air dodge came in, I was like, are they anticipating the platform? Because I get it. Who wants to be on top of a platform, you know, when Greninja's coming for you? You know it's coming. It's going to be like Tipper up smash. But ran out, went for the turnaround pivot F smash, caught the air dodge. I mean, Tigre right now playing a step ahead of the competition. Deven right now going to have to really figure some things out. It's the Squirtle squad kicking this one off, and it's getting the job done.
Remember that he started off with just a ton of Ivy in that game one. In a little bit of trouble, but he'll be able to make it back. Tigre did not want to commit to the forward smash, potentially whiffed by Deven drifting behind him. So I do appreciate that decision. But yeah, this is what I want to see from Deven, is once you get that one hit, stay aggressive and get right on in there. That's the time to push forward, because we've also seen Tigre get a little bit on the opposite end, a little bit more timid after he gets it.
That's right. And I think when you slow a match down on a character like Greninja, you know, Greninja, again, great movement options. You know kind of what they want to do, but you don't want to trade with any of it. Slower characters like Ivysaur and Charizard are really going to struggle to, you know, kind of mix up their approach options. You know you're going to get Razor Leaf. You know you're going to get, like, short hop nair, either cross up or normal, fall away fair, whatever the case may be. Greninja's looking for that.
Well, and Tigre especially, right, when you're on the approach against him, it seems like his spacing is really, really good. His spacing when he's on the attack has been a little bit off, and that's where Deven has been able to get some of those counter hits, right, where, okay, you went in a little bit too deep, I was shielding, I can come out of shield and hit you back, but on the attack towards Tigre, that's where he has been absolutely phenomenal. He really understands Deven's threat zones and his own.
Oh, and you can see it. You can see, yeah, that's right. That's that big puppet energy right there. Just the up special, get off me. I love that, though. You can see it in Deven's face. I thought it was supposed to be a turnaround grab, probably another back throw, but was still able to make a bad situation to a very good one. And, of course, most importantly, keeping this match as close as possible. I think if that last match has proven anything, is that when you allow somebody like Tigre to get the lead, they know how to really, really extend it.
Well, one of these two players is going to have to figure out how to do that. And you'd hope it's Deven if you want to see a Game 5, particularly for your favorite production guy.
That's right.
He is keeping this one a whole lot closer. He has made a couple of good changes, and some good DI keeps him alive. Ivysaur is at least a little bit heavy, and again, sticking to his guns right there. And I think that when he's coming down kind of right on top of Tigre, that's been a really good moment for him to choose to be aggressive out of that disadvantage.
That's right. But it's not about being aggressive the majority of the match. It's about finding, of course, like the right opportunities to go for it. And I really feel like, you know, Tigre is starting to open up a little bit more. But right as I say that, the looming threat that is Deven's Charizard, of course, is not to be trifled with, especially in the corner. This is where Deven has found a lot of success. Oh, yeah, we 3DSing it back to the stage. I'm a Flare Blitz. You better back up.
I know you got the speed to hit me back, but you won't.
You won't. Try me.
And then if not, if you do get it, I'll learn a lesson today.
That's right. You know, Greninja doesn't want to see Charizard in the dark alley. No, you don't want that. But you
got the type advantage and everything. It does not matter.
It don't matter. But you definitely don't want to be above these platforms when Greninja's up underneath you. Tipper up smash, of course, is always an option. Greninja blessed with the footwork to get there in time. Please watch how you land. And Deven, of course, knows what's at stake right now, has the lead, and slowing this match down. This is where you get to really see Ivysaur come alive, of course, with the fall away forward air, solid options, pivot grab, and of course, Razor Leaf.
Well, particularly with this clash of playstyles, we've seen how good Deven's defense is, and we've seen that Tigre has had a little bit of trouble establishing his own offense. It's a very snowbally set, and there is a counter hit off the ledge with the forward air to bring this even. One stock apiece, but at 80%, and Deven's going to stick to the Charizard right here, so you better watch out if he can get that tail anywhere near you.
I'm going to be honest, I'm kind of here for it too. You know, Charizard, again, in the corner. You got up smash, so you, even if you do jump as high as Greninja, you can't land on that platform for free. If you touch Charizard's shield, there's a good chance he's probably going to nair or forward air immediately out of it. So, I mean, you know, we do have some options. And, of course, last but certainly not least, it's the flamethrower. Oh,
Big
my
hitbox!
goodness.
He was almost in the blast zone. I can't believe that Deven held on, but he's at 86. He can't take another one of those. And again, this corner pressure, this has actually been a place for Tigre. Has been phenomenal, but Deven, one more hit, does have the Greninja off stage, and one more could send us to a Game 5.
Okay, flamethrower, that's right. You can't hang out at the ledge forever. I'm going to cook that toad sooner or damn later. Okay, standing jab.
It jabs again where an up throw would have been able to do it on the platform, and Tigre could get a nair into a forward air or something, but Deven covering the landing with that up air again. Defensively, his gameplay has been phenomenal, and that is sending us to a Game 5.
That's right, slowing this match down in a way similar that we've seen Tigre do. We're like, okay, I got the lead. You got to come to me. I'm quicker. You in trouble. Damn, Charizard's entire neck is in that up air. Damn.
He really gets the
yeah, like, whoa.
It's like the guy from the EB Games commercial.
No,
whoa, hey guys.
Right.
Welcome to PS2.
Wow. That was quite the turnaround right there, and I love that. That was just such great split-second decision-making right there. I mean, that's what kind of separates, you know, pretty good Pokemon trainers from being the very best like no one ever was. Is when you know I need to up B right out of forward air from Greninja. You know what you're doing.
There's only one guy who lasted an entire anime series long enough to get retired. Like,
that's true.
You know who that is.
That's right. Damn it, we getting old, Kimona. We getting, that's all that means.
Hey, my first word was Pikachu, so I'm not as old as you think.
Oh, well, we getting up there. You know?
I grew up from day one with that game.
There you go. Well, I tell you what never gets old right here, and that's Tigre, and of course, Deven throwing down. I got to say, this has been one of the best of fives I've had the pleasure of watching here throughout the course this weekend. Deven, of course, has really had to dig deep. I mean, you know, game one went to him, but then we've seen some great adaptation, of course, from Tigre. But you know, I mean, really just all kind of comes down to this. We've seen a clash of playstyles like you talked about before. So who's going to adjust to who's the quickest?
Right now it's Deven who has been playing really well. And again, it's all about how well that defensive gameplay is working. Sometimes Tigre falters, sometimes Deven plays really well. And that time he caught him in an off spot. He had the combo on deck. Yep. Deven getting off to the early lead.
That's right. Well, let's see how long he can hold on to it. Now, we've seen Tigre in both positions with the lead and then, of course, in the deficit. There is a game plan at hand. Love the stall on the shuriken on the way down. Mike, talk about your light flashing before your eyes.
I think that Deven was just looking for a second angle, didn't find it, and the switch to Charizard actually potentially saving him from that up smash. Tigre has got to be thankful he's holding on to this stock.
That's right. Now, I like the switch to Charizard here. You got the lead. Now you can kind of turtle your way through this. Flamethrower, what you doing in that? Don't get cooked.
And dash attack's not going to set up for anything true. Deven knows that, and he was far enough away that he knew he didn't even need to commit to fly or anything. Oh my goodness. Dude, our production guy has hit the flow state right now.
He said, I produce tournaments and funerals. What do you want from me? I can stream both, he said. What do you want? I can do a little everything.
In fact, I am indeed streaming your funeral today in the winner's bracket.
That's That's right.
This is the denouement.
That's right. Now, Tigre, of course, is going to need to turn it up a notch right here. Has the stocks even. Of course, the percent's telling a slightly different story. This is still Greninja. This is still ledge trapping, proficient Greninja in the corner. But with that being said, of course, Deven finds a way to fight the way out of the corner. That nair, such a tough move. I mean, really both of their nairs, Ivysaur and Greninja, but namely Ivysaur's when it comes to this. Yo, when I said back up, I really mean back up, man.
I mean, it has gotten Deven out of a bunch of bad situations, and Tigre in one himself now, down to last stock potentially of his winner's bracket, and Deven immediately going on the offensive again. And Tigre, man, he has got to find a way to get back to that defensive state where he has got Deven approaching him, because you can see, and Tigre, once Deven started putting that pressure on him, has started getting a lot more aggressive, and this set has turned around for the better, at least for Deven in this case. Tigre on the last stock, and having to face down the Charizard is going to put the fear of God into you.
That's right, because that F tilt, down tilt, and most notably the back air is going to stop you from jump. It's going to keep you grounded. And I like what I've seen there just a moment before. Went for the Shadow Sneak, has been kind of struggling punishing the Pokemon shift. Went for Shadow Sneak because he knows that there's a slight delay. He's trying to catch Charizard on the offensive out the Pokeball, but a little off the mark right here to say the absolute least. Deven, of course, this Ivy's, whoa, that move is good now.
He's got the loaded dice.
That's right. That move was booty back and brawl. Thank you, Sakurai. It's a little better now.
And speaking of moves that did not get buffs, it's that up smash, and Deven will finish it out with a flourish, sliding in with that F tilt, and House of 3000's own production guy is getting some big ups from the crowd, and well-deserved, because he had to dig into his bag and make some big adaptations, but that's what you get when the entire tournament is best of 5. Everybody gets that opportunity. Whether they're a slow adapter or a quick adapter, they're able to turn things around over the course of a set and show, hey, I have an understanding of how these things work.
And it's a little rough, I felt like, on Deven too, because Greninja has a lot of tools that can, and I'm saying deal with very loosely, but can deal with all three characters of a Pokemon trainer. I think, you know, of course, you have the footwork to kind of jump in and around Razor Leaf. You know, a lot of Ivysaur's options, especially like in the neutrals, like short hop, cross up nair, fall away forward or fall away back, or like those things that kind of condition you to approach aggressively. Greninja's like, I'm a little too quick for that, homie. Then, of course, you have Charizard, kind of slow. And depending on where Charizard is in the match, whether, you know, the percents are even or, you know, he's in a deficit, you get two very different types of Charizards. You can get a very turtly one, or you can get one where Deven kind of plays like he did in the corner, where it's like, I'm feeling good. I got the tilts. I got forward tilt, down tilt. If you jump, I got back air. I'm kind of feeling myself. But I really like what you said, though. You know, Deven really had to dig deep and kind of adapt on the fly because, again, Greninja can just be really overwhelming.